motivated. Oh, we're on? Yep. Hey guys, Danny Anderson back here, host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And I just want to give Kirk Keller a really big thank you and shout out. I know he's been hosting for the past 2 weeks while I was dealing with my mom's passing. So
You're more
Kirk,
than welcome.
Thank you so much for keeping
the Keller family loves the Anderson family.
Well, my family really does love you guys. So yeah. So today we are here to talk about, believe it or not, some health issues. Kirk and I were lucky enough to have some blood work done, and through Arc Point Labs of St. Johns County. Is St. John's or St. Augustine? St. Augustine. And so today we're doing our big reveal, and it looks like there are multiple pages to get into here. So
my paper doesn't look as good as I do. I'm not as healthy as I thought I was.
I know, right? All the red here on here says we got some work to get into. So we just want to introduce
I'm the owner, operator, and lab director of Arc Point Labs St. Augustine, King Kawan Frierson.
And he's amazing. He's super cool to work with. So tell us a little bit about, kicking off and starting the business, and then how did you rope Kirk into doing this?
Oh, doing some lab work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the business aspect, I am a Navy veteran. I did the corporate America thing, got tired of it. Wanted to invest my time and money into something that was worthwhile. Found Arc Point Labs, which is healthcare, and just immersed myself into it. So just navigating through it the last 4 years and become successful in the St. Augustine area. Want to bring it down to Palm Coast. As far as lab work, we do mobile, and we do in-office, and, of course, in our lab. We do services there. So what we did for you guys was a mobile draw. So we came here to the studio, drew blood, and got you guys the results afterwards.
And it was so easy. It took like less than 10 minutes to do blood work, urine sample, the whole, and plug it all in.
Correct.
So is that kind of like a standard for getting this done?
As far as let's say a session with a patient, yeah, about 10 minutes. You just find the vein, the phlebotomist, so go ahead and draw.
All right, well, let's get into it. Kirk, I know you've elected to go first.
Yep, I don't mind sharing my results. So the first thing I learned I got 4 pages. First thing I learned from Awan is that look for the red things. And I have quite a few red things on here. So I don't have any idea how to read this. So it's best to have this blood test done and either have you go over it, but really best for a doctor or a physician assistant type.
Correct. Okay. Someone that you maybe your provider. Let's say you're doing independent testing like you guys are doing, and you have a provider, take this to them. They'll know what to do from there as far as treatments or anything else you might need.
And I know once before, you told me that your blood will tell everything. I mean,
correct.
It can really, it's like a pre-screening for cancer. That's what I've always used the blood test for. And so I'm so glad you're mobile because I'm always all over the place. And I haven't had a good blood test for probably a couple of years because I haven't had time. Daniel and I are always, we do news, we do sales, we run businesses. We don't have time to go. So having you come here while I'm on the phone, jabbing me in the arm, I loved it. I'm not going to lie. It was very convenient for me because I could get work done and get jabbed at the same time.
I appreciate it. It.
So my first red is in my urine analysis, and it says appearance turbid. What's that mean?
Turbid. It doesn't look good.
Oh.
No. It could be due to dehydration, not drinking enough water, or during transport to the final resulting. It could have been something there, but the levels constantly change with your urinalysis, so it's just good to keep track of it.
Okay, in my urine analysis, another red one was ketones. It says trace. I have a trace amount of ketones. What's that mean?
Correct. Now ketones, I generally don't see these reds when it comes to the urinalysis. People are clear. So when I go over these, the ketones, it's in whatever you're eating. You're doing, like we went over your cholesterol is a little off. So it's in conjunction with that as well. So you just got to watch what you eat.
All right. So I'm asking this question because my wife is really beating me up right now because of the report. Does that have anything to do with my alcohol intake?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I'm dead. All right, let's jump down to the bottom of the page where it says general chemistry. Calcium, 11.4, and it's got a H. I'm assuming that means high. What's it mean when your calcium's high?
You're
drinking a lot of milk?
Yeah, 11, I was going to actually say that to you. I saw 11.4.
I eat a lot of cheese,
There you go. I mean, dairy. Dairy is where the calcium's at. So
and that's bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad, but they just have a reference range for patients and providers to take a look at. So if it's outside of that, it doesn't mean you're dying or anything like that. But
So I
it's
wonder
like,
if that would mean, because my wife and I, we buy farm fresh milk and as much as farm
High
fresh cheese,
concentrated, yeah.
from the farmer's market. So
Pure.
it's not processed. It's not
Right.
pasteurized is the word. I was always told that was better for me than the pasteurized stuff because it takes when they pasteurize it, they heat it up to 170 degrees. That is, and it kills everything.
correct.
So should I stop buying
I
farm fresh
wouldn't.
milk? Okay.
I wouldn't do that. No, because calcium is good for your bones.
Okay. Good. All right. On the back page, I have a lot of red. I mean, a lot of red. Hemogrit. What is that?
Oh, hemocrit.
Hemocrit. Okay.
Trying to find where you're at.
59.3, and it says high.
You went back to the front page right
Oh.
here. Yeah, that's your blood counts. So you know how you're ripping and running around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, you guys, we talked earlier about myself having sickle cell trait. So I have to hydrate a lot. Your blood counts can fluctuate based on those. If you want to, with your blood counts, a lot of people they test them maybe once a week based on their conditions. We can revisit the blood count to see the level if it went down or whatnot. But I wouldn't be too worried about it because your white and red blood cells are going to change constantly. Yeah.
So just for the case of the show, because we have 30 minutes, we have to go through Danielle's as well. Let me focus on the red ones that you think I should really be worried about.
Okay. So what I'm seeing, because like I said, focus on the top. I see your triglycerides are high, your cholesterol total is high, and your LDL is high. So your cholesterol is about what you're eating right now.
Does that mean I have a bigger chance for a stroke or a heart attack or?
Cholesterol, yeah. So I would minimize the fats, or keep them in line because, you have the macronutrients, your proteins, fats, and cholesterol. So you want to keep all that stuff in line. I mean, carbohydrates.
Yeah. So I know at one time eggs were bad, but eggs are good now. Is that right?
When have eggs ever been bad?
I thought they were something high in something.
They're high in B12. I mean, like you take eggs are good for you.
Well, I just go by what they said years ago that eggs would build up your cholesterol. But once again, we buy farm fresh eggs.
There you go.
From Christina, and you can definitely tell the difference. I did a show with her where you can look at the egg yolk and say, "Oh, that was store bought. Oh, this is from the farm."
Oh my gosh! Just for competition's sake, what are your numbers over there
For which one?
for your triglycerides?
I'm 180 high.
So you're 180 on your triglycerides. What are your cholesterol
232 high.
and your LDL?
I'm 150 high.
I feel like I'm playing bingo. This is great.
Am I beating you or winning or losing to
It's
you?
kind of even.
Well, I'm 235 on the triglycerides, which is higher than yours. But my other two are lower, which is good.
So to lower my triglycerides, what do I need to stop eating in your opinion?
I'm listening to what you got. Now I'm hearing your diet. I wouldn't. These reference ranges are for medical professionals. What they recommend. Milk is good for you. Especially pasteurized pure milk. And I wish I was eating like that. Yeah.
Oh, wait, now, did you see his social media where he's got like pasta and
Yeah,
and,
so
and
cut that out.
martinis?
Cut all
and-
that out. All that other stuff.
That is so funny because last night we ate at Tuscany, and Don's like, "You're not supposed to be eating that. I heard about your report."
Right.
See? That's awesome.
But I had fish with it.
Fish is good for you, right?
Good, yeah.
Fish is good for you.
See, that's a good thing. Any other red stuff you got on yours? Red markers?
I think that covered
be
mine,
worried
didn't
about.
it?
No.
What did I miss?
No, you're good. Because, now you're saying the pasteurized milk and the eggs that are farmed, that's why they're so high.
So
Those things make sense then.
Yeah.
I know one thing I was always taught when you get a blood test is look at your white blood count, because white blood count can give you not a diagnosis for cancer,
Precursor.
but a precursor for cancer. Where's my white blood count at? I don't see it on here real quick.
Page 1.
Right here. Yeah. The second complete blood count. You see
Oh, there it is. 8.2. Is that good?
It's within reference range. Yeah. So you're based on medical studies. Yes, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, Danielle, let's see if you can beat me.
I guess Kirk's in good shape here, even though he said he was falling apart.
You took out the page. I guess my wife called and told you to take out the page for STDs, right?
Whoa.
I thought he said it was positive for everything. You're good, right? Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
It is a joke.
Oh my gosh. So mine really is it's looking like the MCV MCH stuff is all flagged red over there on that first.
Your blood counts, yeah.
So what's that kind of stuff do? What is that for?
Yeah, we talked about like your water, your fluid intake. Of course, your cells are gonna fluctuate, like I told Kirk, but
Need to hydrate. Get
you
that
need to
going.
hydrate more.
Well, I will say this: the first time I had to get it drawn twice. My first time I got it drawn is Stephanie, your phlebotomist.
Correct.
She treated me like a brother. I mean, yelled at me because she could not find a vein, and she said, "You're borderline dehydrated."
Wow.
And so the second time I went up, and I actually drove to one. I didn't want him to have to come back down here. I drank 2 bottled waters as I'm driving to St. Augustine, and got a perfect test. But yeah, I had no idea that water helps inflate your veins so your blood flows better. So I drink more water now.
Yeah. Well, but your urine was so funky.
Don't ask me why.
Juan's having a hard time with us.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like, oh
you
my
guys are
God.
cool. I told you I'm a Navy
Navy
vet.
guy. He knows
Yeah,
what's up. Oh my gosh. So definitely need to be drinking more water. I have been drinking a lot more soda now that I've been on the road, back and forth, so that's been kind of weird. And then, so it says my urine was dark yellow, which for the first time in my life, I actually could not go pee. Usually I'm hitting every rest stop on the interstate, and just this, for some reason I was like, maybe it's like a fear, like white coat syndrome
Like
or something.
nervous, yeah.
Yeah. It's
So what's that mean when her urine's dark yellow?
She's dehydrated.
dehydrated.
Yeah, she said she's drinking water, a lot of soda. So like coffee, sodas, those
Yeah.
dehydrate you.
And actually, because I knew I was getting the test done, I made sure that I didn't drink my normal 2 cups of coffee in the morning. So I just kind of came straight out of like sleep.
Ah,
So that's how it was.
gotcha.
But then it also says protein 30. So that's not good because that's got a red,
You
a
got
red
high
number.
protein in your urine, ketones. You got trace ketones. Color was dark yellow. Now the squamous epithelial cells, I have no idea what that is. So
Okay.
we talked about a provider for you, but your provider just left, so we need to get you hooked up with.
So when she has high protein in her urine, does that mean her body is not retaining the protein she needs to retain?
Correct. Isn't the bioavailability for proteins? Remember, we talked about the type of supplements you need to be taking, the ones that are best for your body.
Yeah.
So that's what it's just coming right out.
So I need to take care of that. I did mention, I know that when I was pregnant, I had preeclampsia, some of those things like high blood pressure, which would be in like, protein and sugar in the urine or something like that. So, maybe some long-term something.
Yeah, because you have glucose. The level is high.
And that's our big reveal here for today. My dad has been bugging me for probably 2 years now to get checked to see if I am diabetic, because both of my parents are type 2 diabetic, and it does run in my dad's side of the family. So the big reveal is 7.5, which means what?
No.
On the A1C.
5.7.
Oh, 5.7.
Yeah. So with the reference range, anything below 5.7, you're in normal range. 5.7 to 6.4, you're in pre-diabetes. Anything over that, you're diabetic. So you're pre-diabetes stage.
So I'm kind of like right there. And what I have been noticing, is like after I eat candy or, a certain kind of meal, I'll like feel like taking a nap, wake up in the night, going to the bathroom. So it's all those things. And my dad's like, hey, you're on the road to doing this. You need to take care of it. I'm like, dude, I'm fine. It's just I'm overworked.
So he was right.
So he was right. So there you go, Dad. You were right. So yeah, definitely want to do one of those things to get that thing. Anything else on here that's really important I need to be looking after?
Like I said, it's everything at the top. We your cholesterol level, those are pretty high as well. So just need to watch out for that. But are you doing farm raised eggs and pasteurized milk?
Dude, man, I honestly, I eat McDonald's. My daughter has just gotten us on these, their healthy choice single meals that you can do at night.
Okay.
I feel like they're kind of high in sodium because I notice.
Most of those
Yeah.
frozen meals are high in sodium.
Yeah, because I notice I can feel
Processed.
like in my fingers, when it's a little swollen up. So for me, it's more like just trying to go towards a healthy trend. But I do love my fast food. I won't lie.
I know you guys make fun of me all the time because I go out to eat quite often, but it's just Heather and I, and it is hard to cook when you're just a couple. And but we do go out to eat a lot, and we go out to eat at restaurants that are locally owned and operated. It's their restaurants, it's their recipes. It's not off a truck that's been frozen for hours. because I honestly believe a lot of corporate restaurants do those frozen meals just like the grocery store sell, that are high in sodium and all this other chemical stuff. So that's why I like the locally owned and operated restaurants, like Tuscany. We just ate there last night, and I know Miguel's back there making it all from scratch.
It's amazing. And, if you can moderate the sodium that's in it, that's even better. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to fix this problem with the GX solutions, right?
Correct.
All right, we'll be right back. Are you guys ready?
Ready?
All right, so we are back here getting our health check, and we're actually going to talk about some solutions now that we know where the problems are. So tell us a little bit about what these are. There's 4 of them, right?
Yes. So you mentioned the GX solution. So GX is short for genetics. So recently I became a DNA-based fitness coach. So I like to tell people now the best way to relieve their issues. Like, let's say the blood work, the stuff is off. Instead of doing guesswork, you want to take a test that's going to have a conclusive, tailored report for you. So we have GX Slim, GX Perform, GX Nutrient, and GX Renew. So we'll start with GX Slim. GX Slim is our weight loss plan for DNA-based.
Which you recommended for me in conjunction with?
With GX Perform.
Exactly.
So you can, get up and go. So these tests are tailored specifically for the individual because your DNA is tailored to you.
So how do you get the information that's going to help you formulate those plans?
Okay, so first you'll consult with me. We'll figure out which test is best. We'll get tested. It's a easy process, a buccal swab to your cheeks. We can drop ship the kits, or you can come by and pick them up.
Okay.
Send it back, get the results. Once the results come back, now the GX Slim comes with a comprehensive meal plan. So you, based on your intrinsic DNA, we can figure out what type of foods are working for you or not. GX Perform, we can figure out what type of exercises or physical activities work best for you. Is it cardio? Is it a mix of cardio and strength, and powerlifting? That's how we're going to tailor to the individual to make sure that they get better.
Because we always think, I'm going to get on the treadmill and I'm going to run for an hour and I'm going to drop all this weight in the next 30 days. And then it doesn't work and then you get discouraged. So you give up.
Correct. The best thing to do, let's say someone is thinking about getting better, beginning of the year, before the summer, let's get that body. If you had this type of report, you would know, okay, let me go ahead and take this report. I know what to do. Get a personal trainer, or if you're motivated enough, do it yourself and move forward with it. And should be success if you follow that plan.
So how long does it take to get those results back once you do it? I mean, because if you're going for it, you're ready to get started.
Correct. It's 10 to 14 business days.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to work on Kirk too, right?
That's correct. So Kirk, he says he's old, but
I just look good.
He says he's breaking apart. So I recommended the GX Renew. So GX Renew is more for longevity type testing or longevity lifestyle.
So Juan, I have hip problems. I have knee problems. If I was on this Genetics Renew, or if I start taking Genetics Renew, would that help me rebuild whatever I need or whatever's causing my problems?
It's going to provide you with the information on your body. So we already talked about what you eat and everything. So it's going to give you details on, okay, your levels are off here, recommendations on how to move forward with it. So we talked about the type of procedure that you want to have done. That's fine. But after that, what are you going to do to get better? It's going to recommend
the GX Renew.
Yeah, it's going to recommend walking patterns, workout, just like Perform, but not to the point like where if you're an athlete or someone that's looking to start working out. It's going to be more for middle-aged people that are looking to get their lifestyle.
And I will say this one's been a big help to me. He's become a good friend of mine, and he knows about my issues in my left leg primarily and hip. But he came up with a natural solution that I'm going to do on July 23rd, I think it is. But I think this GX Renew, even after either before or after I get that done, I think it's going to rebuild what I need in my own body to help take care of my joints.
And this would be good for people who have been they've always played a sport or they've always been very active and they're starting to notice issues. Is that right?
Right. Just like food, think of food sensitivity and allergy testing. Some people could eat pasta and then something goes wrong. They're like, what's going on? Is that gluten? There might be the gluten in the food. Especially with athletes, as you get older, your body changes.
Right.
You can't eat that pasta like you used to, or the sauce, or bread as much, you know. So these type of tests will provide you with that baseline, that foundation to work from. I would highly recommend younger athletes. You know, you can do it when you're in high school, but why not do it in middle school or younger, right?
Oh, wow.
You know, get the baseline, especially the parents out there that are they have athletes like myself. I have 2 daughters that play softball, so hey, I need to know what's going on, what foods are good for you, what's bad, what workout patterns work and what don't. You know,
So, would you recommend the school system, for instance, to do something with their kids? Because Danielle and I work with Laura Z, who's on Beach 92.7. She has a daughter, Ava, that is this super duper softball star. I mean, she's in elementary school or middle school.
Yeah, I think she's middle school.
Middle school, and she's already got colleges looking at her to join their team.
is she
But she's a hoss.
is she a pitcher? What does she do?
No, I don't think she's a pitcher. All I ever see is the videos of her hitting the balls, going over the stadium and go over cars and go over the lakes and
Like
everything else.
that.
But yeah, she's a hoss. I don't mean that disrespectful, Ava. Don't get mad at me. But I mean, she can hit that ball, and she practices all the time. But I've been overhearing Laura telling me, oh, she's got an ache here, she's got an ache there. So it sounds like she needs to start looking and eating better based on her body type. Is that am I understanding your
Absolutely.
genetics? Okay.
Absolutely. That's where we're going. So Kirk is absolutely right. I want to do it on both of my daughters and all their teammates and everybody, all the children that are in youth sports, because when your body's aching, it's like, okay, what type of working out is good for me? What's bad? She might be overextending that whatever she's doing. You know, as far as working
You know, I did do a little bit of research after I got mine. I found out my blood sugar's higher than it should be. And high blood sugar does deteriorate your muscles. And I have to admit, thinking back on that, I'm like, yeah, I have a hard time picking this up anymore. Where before, I grew up on a farm. I baled hay, square bales, not those big round bales and tractors. That's what the sissies do. We did square bales and lifted them up. But I noticed it's harder for me to pick up stuff. So that makes sense. I'm not getting weaker as my blood sugar is high and it's deteriorating my muscles.
Oh, so what is the fourth? What's the fourth GX that's in the system?
We're saying GX Slim, GX Perform, GX Renew, and GX Nutrient. So nutrient, it will be your bioavailability to supplements, vitamins. So it's going to take a look at all the nutrients in your body, the levels, insufficiencies, borderline levels, or if they're good. It'll recommend supplements that you should be taking, food patterns or eating patterns, etc.
And I know you're talking about this Canadian firm that you work with that helps create your specific supplements.
Yeah, so we do have all the GX tests are saliva based, so they're DNA, but we do offer micronutrient testing, comprehensive for the whatever. So when the results come back in, we do have a lab that fortifies individualized supplements, ships them to the patient, and gets them good, gets them better.
So why not? Well, ask this because I'm very curious about this because I did find out a lot about myself today, and even more when I do this GX. How often should a person have their blood test and their GX test done?
Okay, the GX, you probably just need that once. You'll do that, and then you take the snapshots. That's the blood work. So myself, before I started doing the GX testing, I would test myself 3 times a year. I would do like a comprehensive and then like small snapshots to where am I at. So now that with the GX, I'm going to do it on myself as well. We should all just do it together. And
You want to?
Yeah, why not?
We'll do another big reveal.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so we'll figure out, I'm going to figure out where to go. But I did the micronutrient and I have the supplements and I feel so much better.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's important because you don't want to go to the vitamin store and just start like picking things off the shelf and trying to, I heard this works for this. And, you just can't get it right that way.
Absolutely. And it's easy to do like an IV drip or something like that, but you can put your body in the shock as well.
Oh, really?
Over supplementation, yeah, your body can become toxic.
I do have one last question before we have to go on my blood test. I didn't see anything about like B12 levels or energy levels. Where would I measure
That
or
would be
see
a
that?
little bit more comprehensive, where we would get like you probably looking like hormones, like testosterone level, the B12, vitamin D. We did an annual, so we just wanted to see a snapshot.
Okay.
We did a TSH, so thyroid as well. So these are basic tests. If you want to go a little bit more, that's fine. But that's why it wasn't on the report.
Okay.
Good stuff. So if people want to like get this done for themselves, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call the lab 904-217-0479 or Google Arc Point Lab St. Augustine.
And it's ARCPOINT
LABS.
LABS of St. Augustine.
Correct.
So are we going to do a competition, see who gets the better numbers fastest?
Oh, you want to?
Well, you know I'm going to win, so you might as well not.
Oh, dude.
You might as well not even
so
try.
competitive. You see what's up?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay, let's set a deadline. When do we want to check it again?
Hey, we have the Foodathon coming right up in October. Let's do it then. Because
All
you and I,
right.
aren't you and I co-hosting the Foodathon?
Probably so.
Yeah, let's do it then.
All right, so October, we set a deadline. That's 6. Is that 6 months, 4 months?
Yeah, close to it.
June, July, August. September. All right, 5 months. We got 5 months to get in shape.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do it again in 5 months.
All right.
All right, so Arc Point Labs of St. Augustine, give them a shout. If you want to get all the information, super easy to read. Your physician can help you out with that as well, and they come to you, so it's pretty perfect.
I
Thanks
love
again
that.
for coming down here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And if you want to get more information also about the GX Solutions, that's on your website too, right?
No, you just give us a call, 904-217-0479.
All right, we're looking forward to checking that out too. So thanks for coming down. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so we want to thank WNZF News Radio, Flagler News Weekly, the Vigilante Philanthropist, Massage by Natalie and Company, and our Benjamin Moore Paint Store here in Palm Coast.